Keshav. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhattavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. We're going to begin to chapter 25, which is titled The Glories of Devotional Service. So Kapila Muni is going to be speaking glories of devotional service. Again with text 1. Shaunakavacha Kapilas Tattvas Sankhyatta Bhagwan Atma Mayaya Jata Swayam Aja Sakshad Atma Prajna Pataye Nirnam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shri Shaunak said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. The word Atma Prajna Pataye indicates that the Lord descends for the benefit of the human race to give transcendental knowledge. Like we were reading yesterday, that why does a governor go into the prison? It's not that he is committed a crime and so he's pushed and forced to come inside the prison. But if the prisoner thinks, oh, the governor has also become a prisoner, then he's not taking advantage of the presence of the governor. That's the point we have to understand. Krishna, he's coming. Why is he coming? For our benefit, to give us transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, how will we hear transcendental knowledge? Transcendental knowledge means it's perfect knowledge, beyond any defects. It's spiritual knowledge. It's to do with our true identity, our true position. And ordinary human beings can't give us this knowledge because we all have 4 defects. So Krishna keeps coming time and time again, and he kept sending his pure devotees to give us this knowledge. Material necessities are quite sufficiently provided for in the Vedic literature, which offers a program for good living conditions and gradual elevation to the platform of goodness. So Vedic knowledge also provides how to live comfortably in this material world and to raise our consciousness, at least to the platform of goodness. Why? Because in the mode of goodness, one's knowledge expands. In the mode of goodness, we are more able to understand. We are more inclined to cultivate knowledge, to hear the knowledge. On the platform of passion, there is no knowledge. For passion is simply an impetus to enjoy material benefits. So on the platform of passion, it's characterized by too many desires. There's a lot of desires, there's a lot of activity. So there is not much desire to hear, to get knowledge. And on the platform of ignorance, there is no knowledge and no enjoyment, but life almost like that of animal benefits. So that's why the mode of ignorance is really the most troublesome for us. It just makes us suffer a lot. And we don't get any knowledge on that. In passion, it's more like enjoyment, desires, a lot of activity, a lot of desire to enjoy. And then in the mode of goodness, the mind is more able to cultivate knowledge, to able to hear the knowledge. The Vedas are meant to elevate one from the mode of ignorance to the platform of goodness. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, is able to understand knowledge of the self or transcendental knowledge. So the Vedas are very vast. There's Karma Kand section, Gyan Kand, and everything is there. So why? To gradually raise our consciousness. If a person is in the mode of ignorance, to gradually raise the consciousness of that person from ignorance to passion and at least come to the point of goodness. Why? Because at the point of goodness, then we are able to understand, hey, I'm not the body. I am the soul. I need to do something about it. Keep on hearing more about this knowledge. This knowledge cannot be appreciated by any ordinary man. Therefore, since a disciplic succession is required, this knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Shaunak Muni also states here that Kapila, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to appreciate and disseminate transcendental knowledge. Simply to understand that one is not matter but spirit soul, aham brahmasmi, I am by nature Brahman, is not sufficient knowledge for understanding the self and its activities. So Shaunak Muni here is saying that Lord Kapila, he appeared to give us this knowledge, to speak about the knowledge, because this transcendental knowledge can be gotten only in disciplic succession. So what are we being said here? That it's not just that simple that we hear, oh, I'm not the matter, I'm spirit. But we have to realize this knowledge because, oh, everyone says, yes, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. But we behave totally as if we are the body. Our energy, our time, our desires are everything for the body. It's just in theory, or we say, oh, yeah, I know. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So we need to be able to understand this knowledge. Understand. One must be situated in the activities of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So how can we understand more? What we are saying that be situated in the activities of Brahman. Not that simply, okay, I am Brahman, but how will we realize that we are really Brahman? We have to realize that. So then do the activities that a soul does on the platform of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So how can we understand what are the activities on the platform of Brahman? The Supreme Lord himself says that. Such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society, but not in animal society, as clearly indicated here by the word nirnam for the human beings. Human beings are meant for regulated life. By nature, there is regulation in animal life also, but that is not like the regulative life as described in the scriptures or by the authorities. Human life is regulated life, not animal life. In regulated life only can one understand transcendental knowledge. So how can we understand transcendental knowledge? We need to regulate our life. When we regulate our life, our senses, our mind, then we are able to understand this knowledge, to receive this knowledge. And that's the reason so much importance is given to this human form of life, because once we lose the chance, if we become animals in the next life, then how will we be able to understand this knowledge? So in human form of life. Is that okay?
Yes.
Nahi asya varsham manahapam sam varimna sarva yoginam vishrutav shruta devasya puri tripyanti me swaha aswaha. Shaunak continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature a yogi than he. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. Now, we may think that I know most. That's what we think, right? I know what to do. I know what is to be done. I know what is not to be done. Come and ask me. I'm the best advisor. I can give you the best advice. That's what some of us think, But who actually knows is the Supreme Lord. No one knows more than him. We think we know. Okay, we know something, but there is a limit to our knowing. But who knows all the knowledge that is to be known? That is the Supreme Lord. And then we think that we are worshipable. People should worship me. So I'm so great. I'm doing such a great thing. So people should worship me. But who is the most worshipable? Is the Supreme Lord. When the Ashwamedha Yajna was being done by, no, I'm sorry, not Ashwamedha, Rajasuya Yajna. Yudhishthir Maharaj did the Rajasuya Yajna, and then all these great personalities were collected there from all over the universe. The demigods were there, the great rishis were there. Everyone was there. At that time, demigods would visit the earth. And then so it was an assembly of great qualified personalities, and then it was being decided that who should be worshipped first, who's the most worshipable personality here, and that who should be worshipped first. And Lord Krishna, everyone unanimously said, it's Lord Krishna who should be worshipped first. I think Sadev brought up that proposal, that here is Lord Krishna himself, so he should be worshipped. And then mature yogi, then, hey, so who's the best yogi? Yogi Krishna. He's the master of all the mystics. He's the master of all the mystics. And he's the master of all the Vedas, because he knows, no one knows more than him. No one knows more than him. He knows what is ever is to be known. Therefore, he's called the master of the Vedas. We are students. We are students of the Vedas. We are trying to understand the Vedic knowledge. Krishna is the master. He knows it. He's realized it. He has this knowledge. And to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. We have these ears. With these ears are like the sky. How much ever you fill in it, they don't get full. You know, how much ever sound vibration you put inside the ear, it keeps on going. A whole day we are hearing so many sounds. If we just try to analyze, whole day there's something going in our ears, whether we want it or not. But what is the real thing that we should be hearing? What's the real thing that's going to give us pleasure? That is to hear about the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Nitya nityanam chetanas chetananam. There is one eternal who is maintaining all other eternal. So there is one soul who is maintaining all other souls, and that is the Supreme Lord. And so that's the reason no one is equal to him and no one is greater than him. He is the supreme living entity and is supplying the necessities of all other living entities. So can we do that? Can we say that, oh, after I get liberated, I will supply the necessities for everyone? No, we can't. Whether we are inside the material body or whether we are on the liberated stage, we cannot maintain anyone. We are being maintained by the Supreme Lord. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So even the Vishnu Tattva is being maintained by Krishna because he's the original. He's the origin. He is the origin, right? Sarva Karana Karanam, Anadir Adir Govinda. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya varshamanaha pumsam. Amongst the living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person because no one is richer, more famous, more stronger, more beautiful, wiser, or more renounced than he. These qualifications make him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has all these opulences, and he has these opulences in full. So in our liberated stage, right now we'll say, okay, I can't compete to God because I'm conditioned, but after I get liberated, then I can become God's competitor. I can become equal to him, or maybe greater than him. But we hear in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami, Krishna has unlimited qualities. Out of the unlimited qualities, he's listed 64 qualities. which Krishna has in full. These 64 qualities, Krishna has it at 100%. We living entities, when we become perfected, when we become liberated, we can have these qualities up to 78%. So we also have Krishna's qualities. We are also have these divine qualities because after all, we are his parts and parcels, but we don't have them 100%, up to 78%. That is the capacity. And that is also in the liberated platform, on the liberated platform. So yogis.
Now we must be 10, 20.
I'm sorry?
Now our qualities.
Percentage. Oh, that I really don't know.
Must be so low.
Yeah, now what percentage? I don't know. That's each for us to see. But so you know what? So see how we are degrading ourselves, by our mind. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, don't degrade yourself by your mind. He says that in the 6th chapter. We think we are the body, and so we associate with the body. But we do have these qualities of Krishna. But how do we revive it? Shall I artificially think, oh yes, I am divine right now, and I'll go walking around like that? What's going to happen to me? I'll just be living on my own, in my own head, on a mental platform. What can we do? We revive our Krishna consciousness. We hear and chant. The more we hear, the more we chant. These qualities are gonna be apparent because our consciousness is gonna become more and more Krishna conscious. Anyway, so that we can see, we have to get out of the mental platform. We have to get out of the mental platform and actually be situated on the spiritual platform. And hearing and chanting, that's the way. Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as the Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they become as good as the Lord himself. Here, become as good as the Lord himself. We take on Krishna's qualities, right? We have those qualities. We have. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that's the Lord's concession. Does any example come to anyone's mind? When did have we experienced, have we seen that or heard of it? Where the devotee is acting more powerful than the Lord himself. Hanumanji, he could fly up to, from India, he jumped up to Lanka, right? But Lord Ramachandra, he had to build a bridge.
So, and even Nityananda Prabhu.
In what context?
Like he was giving, he could deliver Jadai and Madai.
Nityananda Prabhu,
no?
Lord Chaitanya.
No.
Lord Chaitanya.
Chaitanya Dev. But he was giving Harinam to everybody.
Yeah, he was giving Harinam. Yes. He was giving Harinam to everyone. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But like here, it's like
more powerful.
Knowing that, oh yes, Hanuman has more power than me, he can jump across, whereas I'm making a bridge. So that's how the Lord is. He's so, he likes his devotees to be glorified. He does not want this glorification for himself. When he's saying, think of me, chant about me, hear my glories, it's not that, he's not like us, we like people to hear about us, talk about us, praise about us, so our ego gets puffed up. He's not like that. He's very humble. He does not need us to to puff his ego up. Yes, I'm God. No, he says, my devotees are better. Look, my devotees are more powerful than me. They are more powerful.
Just one more clarification. Was Arjun in this category? Arjun? Like Krishna, Krishna became his chariot driver, so he gave more power to Arjun. And
okay, sure. Yeah.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, but I'm just asking that does he fall in this category?
Could be. That's interesting. Could be. I was just, Hanumanji came to my mind.
Yeah, Hanumanji is perfect. Like as you mentioned, like I was just wondering if Arjuna. I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Did he or?
Well, not really, right? Because Krishna anyway said he's not going to fight the war. Here, like Ramchandra and Hanumanji both had to cross the bridge. Both had to do it. So Ramchandra ji, he had to build the bridge. Whereas
Bridge.
he said, I'm not going to fight anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, at least that's the
I
way.
think it's true also what Neha is saying, because he was ready to be a chariot,
That shows Krishna's love for his
Yeah.
devotee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's Krishna's love. Yeah.
Krishna's love. That shows Krishna. Oh my God, yes. He's
I'll be your chariot. Yeah.
he's showing how loving he is. He's showing how much his relationship with his devotee. That's what he's showing by becoming the chariot driver. But powerful, he's not showing powerful, Yeah. At least that's what I look at it. Anyway. Also used here is the word varina, meaning the most worshipful of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore, he is known as Govinda. For by his words, by his teachings, by his instruction, by everything connected with him, he enlivens the senses. Whatever he instructs is from the transcendental platform, and his instructions, being absolute, are non-different from him. So Krishna's instructions are also transcendent because Krishna is on the absolute platform. So his words, his speech, everything is on the transcendental platform. So it's all absolute, non-different. Hearing from Krishna or his expansion or plenary expansion like Kapila is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives great pleasure, the more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he gets the appetite to read and understand it. And each time he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of the transcendental message. Similarly, we find that transcendental happiness in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy because it's non-different from Krishna. His instructions. The more we hear Bhagavad Gita, the more we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, and we feel, oh, I think I don't understand it. Let me try to understand it. What is being said? And it suits the heart. Bhagavatam, just feel happy hearing from Bhagavatam. Why? Because it's Krishna himself. Krishna himself. So the more we hear and chant, if we really want true happiness, if we really want to become our best friend, then the more we hear and chant, the happier we'll be, because the more we are being situated in our original consciousness, the more we are coming in touch with Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes, really nice.
Anyone want to add?
Yeah.
Please add something or comment on it. Or your experiences of hearing Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Do you agree with it?
Totally agree. Yes.
You can experience it, right? Yeah, so if we can encourage more and more people to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then they can also be happy, to experience the happiness. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in.
Thank you.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. I'm wishing you all
Ekadashi Mata ki.
Jai, Jai. Wishing everyone a